Sacco and Felice, New York and New Jersey's premier attorneys at law. Their team brings decades of experience across a wide range of practice areas. Whatever life brings, they're your legal team. From everyday matters to complex cases, they've got you covered with the experience you need and the results you want. Because when life gets complicated, they make it simple. SaccoFelice.com. SACCOFILLAS.com. 2 C's, 2 L's.
Michael Harrison, publisher of Talkers Magazine. It's the Bible of the talk radio industry. If you are fascinated by talk radio shows like this one, you can learn all about the secrets of them for free at talkers.com. And also, Michael is an existentialist. He's a student of the universe, a magician of the mind, and therefore fascinated by the Artemis spacecraft going into space, actually launching and successfully after decades going into space for a moon orbit. And their biggest challenge at the moment, Michael, seems to be the bathroom.
Yeah, I understand that they have a bathroom. Why, have you heard it's not working?
That's their biggest problem.
You know, in the movie 2001: A Space Odyssey, Bowie was the oddity. Did you see that movie ever? Did you ever see that movie, 2001?
Absolutely, yes.
I figured you did. We all saw it at one time or another. One of the scenes that got the biggest response from people when it was first in the theaters was when I think the guy's name was Floyd. He was on his way to the moon, and he was in a Pan Am sort of a shuttle. And they showed him sitting there reading this long list of instructions about how to use a gravity-free toilet.
Right, right.
Using toilets, drinking fluids, all of the little things that we consider to be just normal bodily functions are crazy when you're in a zero gravity environment and you're out in space. It's just very difficult to run this thing called the human body when you don't have gravity. So bathrooms are an issue. Drinking is an issue. Water floats around in bubbles. You know, it's just an amazing thing. So here we are. We actually have humans as we speak. They're on their way sometime in the next couple of days. I'm not up on top of it like an astronomy professor. I'm sort of a enthusiast, a fan of astronomy and space exploration, the space program and all that. For those of us who were around back in the 60s and we remember Apollo 11, this is it's kind of exciting. And, there's a lot of nostalgia attached to that. People get emotional when the candle goes off and heads out into the abyss. Do you find yourself like in awe?
I share a human curiosity, and I think the thing that draws us to it repeatedly is we want to see the other side of the moon. We want to know, is there a settlement there? Do people live there? Are there aliens there? Are the rock formations completely different? Are the rocks themselves completely different? What the hell's on the other side of the moon? I think that's one of the great things we can expect from Artemis. What do you?
This is Greg Kelly. Donate now to Toys for Tots, which works year-round. Go to toysfortots.org. Toys for Tots supports children in need throughout the year with programs like the Toys for Tots Literacy Program. Established in 2008, it has provided over 63 million books to disadvantaged children. The Toys for Tots Literacy Program is committed to providing disadvantaged children with direct access to books and educational resources that enhance their ability to read and communicate effectively. Go to toysfortots.org.
This episode is brought to you by Stouffer's. Here comes three-time juggling champion Natalia Rogers. She's juggling law school, her TA job. Oh, narrowly catches the laundry. What's that fourth ball? Parents unexpectedly showed up at dinner time? Is that too much for Natalia? Not with Stouffer's Chicken Alfredo and its mouth-watering mix of Asiago, Romano, and Parmesan. When you're juggling four things at once and the clock strikes dinner, think Stouffer's.
TaxAct filing software and live tax experts can help small businesses easily knock out their taxes. Actually, our experts can help you find deductions and credits for any sized business. itty-bitty businesses, medium-sized, really big, mid-sized, small businesses, companies with 0 employees, and mom-and-pop conglomerates. Yep, our tax experts can help all of them. TaxAct. Let's get them over with.
I think.
Yeah, and also the south pole of the moon. We'll get a look at that. That's a place that we don't know much about.
Right.
Now, the moon, the fact that the moon is, in sort of gravity lock with the Earth, that it only shows one side of the moon. We shouldn't call it the dark side. It's the far side of the moon.
Right.
With all due respect to Pink Floyd, the dark side of the moon does not exist. Both sides of the moon have equal light and darkness. But we always see the same side of the moon because it rotates on its axis at the same speed and at the same rate that the Earth goes around on its orbit around the sun. It's kind of interesting how that worked out.
Well,
And so we always see the same side. So, yeah, there's all kinds of speculation, back to conspiracy theories, some of which are true, most of which are not, that all kinds of things might be going on the far side of the moon. Aliens, secret bases, artifacts. Who knows? Well, maybe we'll learn a little more about it, or maybe it'll be covered up by NASA.
What do you think it does to the mind of the human race when a rocket goes into space, goes around the moon, makes us completely think about a different span of the universe than we do day to day? Does it do anything to our minds? Does it do anything to our possibilities thinking?
How could it not? I mean, it's amazing. A lot of people are saying, especially at this time now when the world is suffering from such strife and lack of confidence in the future and anger at our own humanity and our own species and insecurity and violence and, the danger of blowing up the planet, we're going to have views of the Earth that we've never seen before. One of the things that's very exciting to the astronomical community is that this trip is going to put us in a situation to take photos of the Earth from space with people commenting on it, people who are there experiencing it, that shows us a different perspective of who we are, what we are, where we are, and how fragile and small we are against the backdrop of this endless ocean of space and darkness. It's pretty remarkable. So, yeah, hopefully it gives us a collective consciousness jolt of a new reality. I think other people just take everything for granted. And it is funny, once you start doing something a lot, it's taken for granted. I mean, everybody remembers the movie, Houston, we have a problem, Apollo 13. By the time Apollo 13, 2 missions after Apollo 11 took place, people were already getting used to the idea, we go to the moon. That's what we do. Oh, there's another moon launch today. If it wasn't for the fact that it turned into an incredibly, edge-of-the-seat, nail-biting adventure, that would have been no big deal. It was the problem they had that it was almost definite that those guys were going to die. That brought everybody's attention back to the moon program. But I'll tell you something, Walter. The fact that nobody died on their way to the moon of the various the handful of missions, and I think 12 people walked on the moon. The fact that they pulled them off safely is a miracle because they did that with Scotch tape. I mean, they did that with.
Well, they did that with a computer smaller than your phone. Now, do you think immediately there's going to be the discussion of how much did this cost? Is this worth it? Do you think it's worth it?
Starting a business can seem like a daunting task, unless you have a partner like Shopify. They have the tools you need to start and grow your business. From designing a website to marketing to selling and beyond, Shopify can help with everything you need. There's a reason millions of companies like Mattel, Heinz, and Allbirds continue to trust and use them. With Shopify on your side, turn your big business idea into... Sign up for your $1 per month trial at shopify.com/special offer.
Want to make the most of your tax refund? File with TurboTax on Intuit Credit Karma. They help you get your biggest refund, and then we help you do more with it. With a personalized plan designed to help you hit your money goals. Start filing today in the Credit Karma app.
Instagram teen accounts have automatic protections for what teens see and who can contact them, plus time management tools. And Instagram will continue adding built-in safety features to help create age-appropriate experiences. Learn more about teen accounts and Instagram's ongoing work to protect teens online at instagram.com/teen accounts.
Well, that's a very interesting question, and people will always debate that. We can't even settle our problems here. Why are we spending money to go there? And there's lots of different answers and arguments to that particular debate. But one of the reasons it's taken so long to go back, people say, why are they having so much trouble with this Artemis thing when we've already done this with less computer power than is in our phone, and we went there many times and we pulled it off. Why can't we do it anymore? And one of the handful of really important reasons why it's been so difficult to do, and we still hesitate to land those people on the moon itself. This is a flyby. We're making it sound like we're going to the moon, but we're really not landing on the moon. We're going around the moon and then coming back. One of the reasons is because we don't have the kind of money to spend on NASA and on the space program that we did in the 60s, because it was motivated by the Cold War with Russia. I mean, when Sputnik came, it was, I remember I was a little kid. I remember the headline, I think it was Newsday, I'm not sure. I grew up on Long Island, and it said, Russia wins the space race. And then there was a picture. I remember that as a kid. Scared the hell out of me, because now they're going to drop bombs on us from the satellite. That's the way we fought back in those days. It was terrifying. So they spent a tremendous amount of money not to let the Russians get to the moon. Like that would be some kind of an advantage in terms of our life and death struggle with Russia.
Yeah, and I've talked to NASA people who were working there at the time, and that was the only reason that we went to the moon. It was not a scientific mission. It was very much a political mission. Michael Harrison, closing thoughts, something special about the fact that we are finally back in space orbiting the moon.
I hope it goes smoothly and those brave people come back safe and sound, because I'll leave you with this thought, Walter. Can you imagine how weird it must feel to be in this tin can, 250,000 miles away from Earth in deep, dark space on the far side of the moon? I mean, think about that. Oh, my gosh. It's hard to imagine.
Michael Harrison, publisher, editor, founder of Talkers Magazine. You can subscribe to it for free. A brilliant mind. Thank you very much for being a friend of the other side of midnight.
Thank you.
Listen to this podcast now on the Red Apple Podcast Network. The Leadership Thread with Dr. Peggy Polonis.
I'm Dr. Peggy Polonis. Join me on each episode where I unravel the story that shaped leaders, tracing the thread that led them where they are today. Because leadership isn't born in adulthood. And thank you once again for joining us on the Leadership Thread, education, ethics, and sustainability.
Download all of Red Apple Media's podcasts right now through your favorite podcast platform.